Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. I don't have that much idea of what to do. I think that on this month you may have noticed that my content has been very all over the place because I have not been reading at all. So far I have only read one book in November, but that's because November is kind of finals month and there's a lot of work from my university, so I am trying to hold on. But I figured that I would just do a book haul for you guys because I have not done one in a while and I have accumulated a lot of books, so I figured that I would just do a fall book haul because these are the books that I have accumulated over the past 2-3 months. I have not bought anything in November because, as you will see, I have a lot of books accumulated and I kind of want to read these before I buy more. So yeah, let's get started. I will start with some of the books that I got off of thrift books, and then I will move to the books that I got from Amazon, and then I will move to the books that I got from Book Depository. So I bought 3 books off of thrift books. I don't know if you remember, but on the beginning of the year, I believe that I said that one of the goals that I wanted to accomplish was to buy more used books and buy less. So far, we're doing kind of good, but not as good as I want them to be. So yeah, we're gonna start with What Matters in Jane Austen by John Mullen. I'm not sure if I hauled this book before, but this book is basically a non-fiction book about Jane Austen and her works, and I really like John Mullen. If you search on YouTube, you will see he does a lot of talks. So I got this book because I really want to start reading more non-fiction about Jane Austen and kind of dive deep into some of the elements that make her books so great. And yeah, I am really excited to, let me just put these off for a second. I have not read this yet because I have not read Emma and I have not read her shorter works. But some of the things that you can expect from this book is, for instance, how much does age matter in Jane Austen works? Who dies in the course of her novels? Why is it risky to go to the seaside? Why is the weather important? What games do characters play? Is there any sex in Jane Austen? So yeah, these are some of the things that you can expect from this book, and I'm really excited. But again, I have not read some of the other Jane Austen works, and I don't want to spoil myself because this goes very deep into some of the plot points of Jane Austen's novels. So yeah, I really want to read this, and hopefully I will be reading it really soon. Next, I ordered The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. I already did a wrap-up about this book, so if you want to see my thoughts on the sequel, well, no, this is the sequel, then you can go to my October wrap-up, which I will link in a card up here. So yeah, I got this book because I really enjoyed The Crown's Game and I wanted to find out the sequel, and I think this is a duology because this ended pretty solid and without it wrapped everything up. So I think that this is a duology, and yeah, I did not enjoy it as much, but if you want to see my thoughts on this book, then you can go ahead and go to that video. Also, if you don't know, The Crown's Game, which is the book previous to The Crown's Fate, follows a competition between 2 individuals, and basically on this country there is the position of imperial sorceress or sorcerer, and only one person can occupy this position. However, 2 people were born with magical powers, so they basically have a competition and fight it out to see who will be the magic sorcerer. So yeah, if you're interested in that, it kind of has Night Circus vibes, I guess. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and read this series. And last of the books that I got from thrift books was The Mermaid and Mr. Hancock. And I do not know anything about this book. But yeah, I kind of heard that this has very historical romance kind of vibes, so that's why I got it. I'm reading a historical romance kind of craze. So yeah, if you have read this book, then maybe you can tell me if it's good or not. I think I heard from Lucy Powell, I think her name is, from Lucy the Reader. And she said that this book is really good. So pretty excited to just dive into it. So on to the books that I got from Amazon. I got Blood Witch by Susan Dennard, and I have a kind of a funny story with this book because as you know, or as you may not know, Truth Witch so far has 4 books. 3 of them are novels, and then there's 1 novella, and the novella is in between Wind Witch, which is the second book, and this book. So I got this one and I started reading it, and then I was like, wait, I should probably read Sight Witch. And I sent Susan Dennard a message on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I have not bought the Sight Witch, which is the novella. Could I read this one and then read the other one? And then she made a post about it on her story, which was kind of funny to me. And she was like, yes, you should read. That's why I wrote it. And I was like, I don't think if she was offended by my question. I'm not sure. It was not my intention. I was gonna read it anyway, but yeah, funny story. But yeah, this is Blood Witch, and Truth Witch is a series about, it's so complicated to explain Truth Witch, but it follows just 2 best friends. They both have powers. One of them is a Truth Witch, and Truth Witches can tell truth from lies, and they're very sought after. So in Truth Witch, we'll follow as someone discovers that Safi, which is a Truth Witch, is a Truth Witch. So she has been living in hiding to protect herself, and then they have to run away in order to, I don't know, save their lives. So yeah, that's one aspect of the story. There's a lot going on around the country. I'm gonna have to hold this one for a while because I have not read Sight Witch yet, so yeah. Then I got Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahiran. Loved this book so much, and I bought this because this was the book for my book club on Puerto Rico. So my local bookstore was doing a book club, so I read it, I loved it, and I cannot rave more about this. I kind of want to just pick it up and read it again. It's great. I got to talk to the author. What more can I say? It's great. And on the book club, they sent signed book plates, so I have her signature. I have her signature right there. So yeah, pretty happy with it, and yeah, great. Then off of Amazon, I got my most recent book, which is The Fountains of Silence by Bruta Sepetys. And I was really excited because I like historical fiction. I'm not sure if I like this one a lot. This is the only book that I have read for November so far, and I have a lot to say about it. I think that my November wrap-up will end up being a review of this book because I have not read anything else. But yeah, have a lot of thoughts on it. This book follows the story of Anna, and she is living in Spain during the dictatorship of Francisco Franco, and we get to follow not only her but her family and other characters that are in Spain at the moment. So it's really great. We also follow the story of Daniel, and he comes from Texas, so he's actually visiting Spain. So we get the perspective of not only someone who has lived her entire life during the dictatorship, but also someone who is an outsider and who lives in a completely different environment. So yeah, I think that this is a very, very educational book. Apart from the plot and everything, it has the author kind of introduced some sections that are actual documents or transcripts of interviews that were done to ambassadors of the United States in Spain and people that were living in Spain during the time. So you will see kind of these little pages, and they kind of give more context to what is happening or what happened in Spain. So I got to learn a lot from Francisco Franco in this book. This is turning into a review, but yeah, more thoughts on my November wrap-up. Then I got this huge book. I don't know why. I wanted to read it for October and that didn't happen, and that's Stephen King's It. Have not watched the movie, wanted to read the book, but this thing is huge and I wanted to read it for Halloween. Didn't happen. I think that everyone knows what this book is about, so I will not give a synopsis, but I think that this will actually be my first thriller horror kind of read. I have never read Stephen King as well, so yeah, it's a big boy. Now onto the books that I got from Book Depository. So I'm gonna start with some exciting ones. As you know, I'm building my collection for, I'm building my Harry Potter collection out of the Bloomsbury editions. So I got book 3, which is The Prisoner of Azkaban. It's really cute. I just love these covers so much. And yeah, it's just great. And then I got The Goblet of Fire, both by J.K. Rowling. These covers, guys, it's just so beautiful, so beautiful. And you can see the back as well, Harry, and it's just super cute. It's super cute and I love them, so added those to my collection. Then I got Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This book I got because I read Jane Eyre on October, loved it, and I am kind of slowly getting into the Brontes and their work, so I think that the next one that I'm gonna be reading is Wuthering Heights. I know this is a tragedy, so thankfully I'm prepared for that. But yeah, pretty excited. Don't know what it's about. But yeah, I love these editions, by the way. Look how pretty they are. And they have even quotes on the back. So I think that there's also an Anne Bronte book. I think it's The Tenant of Windfill Hall, I think it's called. Which is also in this edition, so I think I'm gonna get that one as well. So yeah. And last but not least, I got The Paper and Hearts Society by Lucy Powery. I knew that I got the name wrong previously. So this is a book by Lucy the Reader, which is a booktuber. I will link somewhere on the video or down below so that you can check her out. She's super sweet. She reads a lot of classics. So this is her first book and it's middle grade. I don't read middle grade that much, but this sounds just so good and so bookish and everything. So it has to do with book clubs and I am really just excited to just, yeah, read this. I think this is gonna be my next read. Could it be my next read? It seems like something really quick that I can just enjoy and light and just fun. So yeah, the sequel was actually announced. I think I'm gonna put the cover somewhere on the video so that you can check it out and you can see. And I'm so happy for her. It's a fellow booktuber, so yeah, this just seems great. And I got this book off of Book Depository as well, so yeah, I am so excited to get to read this. So yeah, those are all the books that I acquired in fall, and I think that you can tell now why I have decided to not buy a single book on November and just try to get through the books that I already own. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and I will see you guys with the next video. Bye.